Look at me, I'm breaking the law.
Just look at you go.
So I don't get pulled over, because then that's just confession right there.
Sir, what are you doing?
Breaking the law. So we've talked about movies that we really love.
Yes.
Let's talk about movies we hate.
Ooh. God, I was digging to get into this topic. Let's start with you.
I knew you would be.
Oh, God.
I knew you would be.
Let's start with you first. What do you hate? What do you loathe of a movie?
Well, when it comes to a lot of people, when they think of movies they hate, they think of like really bad movies, like the B movies that are really low budget. For me, I can forgive those because at some point it is the budget that causes it to be bad. For me, the movies that I really loathe, first off, are movies that have huge budgets and then just aren't good at all because it's just money wasted.
Jupiter Ascending was one.
Jupiter Ascending, yeah. That movie wasted so much money and had no reason to be bad, but it just...
was bad.
It was bad. It thought it was better than it was.
Yep.
It took itself too seriously. Probably the movies I hate most, and again, I completely admit, not because of the movies themselves, are the movies that people overly praise.
Yeah.
Where they don't deserve the praise. You remember in 2009, a little ditty directed by James Cameron called Avatar?
I think I can remember
There's
that
a lot
one.
of people, well, maybe not a lot, but there's a few people watching this right now that are rolling their eyes because I've gone on this rant so many times. But Avatar, when it came out, it was like Titanic. People that didn't go see movies went and saw that movie. And I worked at a movie theater during that, as I still do now. It was just swamped for weeks and weeks, and that is okay. But the people going to see it were acting like it was the best movie ever made. And I admit, like, at first, when I first watched it before it was released, yeah, it was a decent movie. It was visually stunning and all that. But it's essentially Fern Gully, Pocahontas, Dancer with the Wolves.
Yep.
The story's the same. The world James Cameron created was great, but it was essentially the same.
They just think it's
story.
They just think it's completely different
and,
because it's this amazing looking thing.
And it's the only movie. It's the first movie they've seen since Titanic.
Yeah.
If you don't see that many movies, it doesn't really say much when you say it's the best movie ever made.
For me, I'm not trying to come off as a big horror buff.
You do talk about horror a lot.
But I do talk about horror a lot. The Conjuring was a really good movie. I've got a review for it. Wink.
Right here. On my finger.
There it is. Anyway, Conjuring was really good, but it came out with a little side thing called Annabelle, which was just not that great of a movie at all.
They're called spin-offs.
There was... Oh, that's the word for it. Well, it came out with a spin-off called Annabelle that was not that scary at all. It maybe had one good scene that I actually was like, alright, that was pretty cool. But in retrospect, it had nothing to do with the Annabelle doll.
The scenes involving Annabelle in The Conjuring were scarier than the whole movie of Annabelle combined.
People in our generation, like, they don't know good horror movies.
Yeah.
And Annabelle, sorry guys, but Annabelle is not a good horror movie. Just because there's jump scares where, like, music's pretty loud and like a little doll's running around doesn't mean it's completely scary.
You know what it is? It's the kind of horror that has been made in America for the past few decades. It's easy horror.
Yeah.
It's horror that, it's gonna make people jump, but does it really, when they go home, like, keep them from sleeping? That is horror to me, is if it keeps you from sleeping. A lot of people might be upset at me, mostly ladies. The Notebook. Have you seen The Notebook?
I have seen The Notebook.
What'd you think?
For a Nicholas Sparks movie, it's probably one of his
Well, that's
better.
like saying this is the least
But
smelling of all the shit.
That's what I'm saying here. Like, it's the least smelling of all the shit.
So the reason I loathe that movie is when I was in, I want to say 8th grade when that came out, 2004 or something, 2003, 2004, whenever it came out.
I was like a freshman, I think,
went with a friend to see that movie, a female friend. So we said, oh, let's go see Spider-Man 2. And this is before Spider-Man got really stupid. This was like the good Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. And And I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go see Spider-Man 2. We're in line at the box office, literally next in line. She goes, you know what? I want to see The Notebook instead. And I was like, that's fine. I'm going to go see Spider-Man 2.
Did you fulfill that
I
promise
did
to
not.
yourself? Oh my goodness.
Because love is a funny thing. I don't want to say love. Intense like is a funny thing.
Like is a funny thing.
So we ended up seeing The Notebook, and I hated every minute of it.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Thanks for watching. Listen, we appreciated it so much. We would appreciate it more if you gave us a like, maybe a subscribe, maybe if you watch that video. It's probably another car vlog. You never know. Or
That's our review for Swiss Army Man over yonder.
it's pretty good.
Well,
Or is it?
we don't know. We haven't seen Swiss Army Man yet.
You have to find out.
Yeah.
But-
Don't forget to check down below for our tweets, our Instas, and our Fosses, Facebooks. And just follow that. Don't forget to visit our website, KeystoneFilmReview.com. Was that guy just getting arrested? Holy crap.
I was getting pretty arrested right
Oh
there.
my god.
That was almost a cavity search.
Thug life.
Ugh. Well, since that police officer's going down bottom, you should go down bottom and do Go down.
I'm leaving that in. I'm leaving that in. Go down in our bottoms.
Go down in our bottoms and do the stuff.
Cavity search the sections down there.